sometimes frustrating, because if you want to give it, you want to give it to somebody or some young people or something. In some ways I feel I can do it to some degree as an actress, and as a friend I can do it as a contributor to people's lives. And I have a wonderful girlfriend who has 3 children, and I look at her sometimes with a little envy. She looks at my life with a little envy, and I don't know who's in the outcome. I don't know, but things are the way they are. I just had a very long relationship for 11 years, and I'm still close to the person I was with, and who the hell knows what will happen in time, you know.
How do you see yourself in 18 years or 20 years? Sitting in the house with the open fire?
I don't know. I believe that if you're interested in people, you'll always have people around. Well, I've had my share of propositions, you know. Proposals, I mean, not propositions. I haven't wanted to be in that state with those people. I'm very fond of them, but it hasn't been, you know, I'm a very independent person. I'm very, very independent, much too independent, really. But I like to lean, but I do have a fear of leaning too much, because so many women have their feet taken away from them, their knees buckled.
Right.
So maybe I'm defensive in that way.
Working with your stunning beauty as a waitress in a Chinese restaurant.
In London. So I worked in a Chinese restaurant and I worked in an Arabic restaurant.
How did you cope with all the men who hit on you?
I rather enjoyed it. I rather enjoyed it, and it wasn't a very long job, but I found it fascinating, particularly working in the Arabic restaurant, because in London at the time, in the 60s, there were a lot of people from Saudi Arabia. Apart from the fact I couldn't pronounce half the words on the menu, but it was quite a fascinating thing, and I became quite psychological through this period.
How have you been educated in relation to men, in relation to life, in relation to sex?
Well, I think I had a sort of well-protected childhood. I wasn't around lots of children except at school. My relationship with my parents was very good. Mm-hmm. I was particularly close to my father, who taught me lots of very interesting stuff. Basically taught me the main thing, which has served me well, is to become a good listener.
Yeah, but this has nothing to do with men, or has it?
This has everything to do with men.
Why?
Well, men love to be listened to.
Oh, because they are so egocentric?
No, I don't think so particularly, but I think that people in general love to be asked questions, and because nobody ever asks them any. I mean, I notice for myself, nobody ever hardly asks me a question apart from in interviews. It's just a sort of dying thing a lot of the time. Or people maybe are intimidated, I don't know, but I've always been very curious, so it was a tremendous lesson to become, because actually as an actress, it's totally important.
Yeah, and men like to talk about themselves.
They do.
Yeah, they should listen. This is the best trick, I would say.
Well, it might be, yes. A great listener is a very seductive person, right. A man who can listen, yes. Yeah. Talk as well, though.
Did you fall for any pick-up line?
Well, when I was working in this restaurant, I was asked to go to did I want to go to the Casbah? And I have to say, I said a resounding no, not really knowing what it was, but it was a bit louche. It was, you know, but the guys were flirting, but it was all right.
How old were you then?
Just 19, and I wanted to go to holiday in France with my best girlfriend, and I didn't have any money, so I was working in a restaurant to earn some money, because the days had come when I couldn't ask my father anymore. And I was excited to earn a little bit of money, and I was always interested in people, so it was fascinating. I found being a waitress fascinating. I've always been somebody who liked to serve other people. It's not a problem for me. It's my natural nature, which has led me actually to be a little bit caught in this sort of web of serving, because sometimes people overdid it, and I had to learn to sort of say no a little bit sometimes. But I do think we are here to serve the world, so I don't think it's an ignoble job.
But you have been, as you just told me, more a father's girl, right?
No, I was both. But my mother was probably more difficult.